Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Bench's Book Reviews. What's in the box today? Let's see. It is... it's a famous author. You may have heard of him. It's Dr. Seuss's The Bippolo Seed and Other Lost Stories. There are quite a few in here. I'm probably not going to read them all. As the contents, I'll just start with the first one, and if it's fairly quick, I'll move on to another one. I believe these are called Lost because someone lost them, and then they were found, I suppose, because I've got them here. Let's see. Okay, quite a few. Okay, the first one's called The Bippolo Seed, so let's read that one first. Here it is. It's not typeset the way you often get with Dr. Seuss books. It's like a big wall of text here. I guess there are... It seems to rhyme, so they have cut the ends, but they haven't put it into like little verses. So let's see. The Bippolo Seed. Right, are they single pages or are they longer? No, they're longer. Okay, so this one pretty texty, but they do have illustrations. Okay, let's go. The Bippolo Seed. Dr. Seuss, in case you're not familiar, he makes up a lot of words. Bippolo, I guess, is one of them. At least I've heard of it before. Here we go. The Bippolo Seed. I've said that a few times now. One bright sunny day, a young duck named Cluck had a wonderful, wonderful piece of good luck. He was walking along when he spied on the ground a marvellous thing that is quite seldom found. 'Twas a small silver box, and it looked mighty old, and on top of the box it was written in gold. Who finds this rare box will be lucky indeed. Well, that matches the wonderful piece of good luck, for inside this box is a Bippolo seed. Plant it and wish, and then count up to 3. Whatever you wish for, whatever it be, will sprout and grow out of a Bippolo tree. It's quite a lot of writing for the top of a box. This is written quite small. There, look, size of the box. To get all that on there must be quite small writing. That's okay. It says it's a small silver box, so with even smaller writing. Well, thought the duck, that's McCluck. Well, now what do you know? I just have to wish and my wishes will grow. Now, what'll I wish for? Now, what do I need? Don't need very much, only food for my feed. So I wish, said the duck as he opened his beak, I wish for some duck food, enough for a week. There we go. So you have to plant it and wish. It doesn't say it's planted it yet. I expect you will on the next page. Then he dug a quick hole, here he goes, but before he could drop the seed in the ground, a loud voice shouted, "Stop!" That invalidates the wish then. The duck looked around and he saw a big cat. It's a small duck and a big cat. Oh, young duck, sorry. Young duck, a small box, and a big cat. Okay. So you saw a big cat. Now why, asked the cat, did you wish for just that? 1 week's worth of duck food? Pooh, that's not enough. It's PWH. Why, I'd wish for 500 pounds of the stuff. Not sure why a cat needs 500 pounds of duck food, but there you go. But gosh, said the duck with the Bippolo seed, 500 pounds is much more than I need. But that's just the point, said the cat, for you see, when you grow all that food on your Bippolo tree, you can go into business, with me. That's a capitalist cat, that alliterates nicely. You can go in business with me. We'll sell that food. You'll be rich, laughed the kitty. Why, you'll be the richest young duck in this city. It doesn't say which city. Rhymes nicely with kitty, though. Said the duck, and he wrinkled his brow. I never thought much about money till now, but golly. It's a gosh and a golly. You're right. Loves this minced oaths, this duck. With some money, gee whiz. There's another one. Why, I'd be the happiest duck that there is. Don't know why you don't just wish for the money directly rather than the duck food. Go to the trouble of selling it, but maybe that would cause inflation. Guess it would. £500 earlier was the weight, not the value, I believe, of the duck food. Yeah, so here we go. So there are pictures, by the way. There's the cat and the duck hopping around. Cat trying to convince the duck to do certain things. I'll wish for that food, but the cat called, not yet. It's just the one wish you get. It's not like a genie. Plant it and wish, and then count up to 3. Oh, okay, now you count to 3, but you only get one wish. Okay, so you have to think about it quite carefully. 1 seed, 1 wish, 1 tree. But the cat called not yet will think of some more things to wish for, I'll bet. Why, I know. So you can have a wish consisting of multiple pots. Or at least, excuse me, just sneezed a bit there. At least the cat thinks you can. Okay, let's see if this works. Why, I know a very nice thing you could wish. A tree that grows duck food could also grow fish. There you go, that's more typical cat food. Wish 600 fish to out of the ground. Oh, he just wants to sell these as well. But he may know a cat clientele in waiting. Wish 600 fish to out of the ground. So that's 500 pounds of duck food and 600 fish. I'm not sure what the average weight of a fish is. And we'll sell those fish at $1 a pound. Now, $1 a pound is a very high rate. Is it? I mean, I guess this book was quite old. These stories were lost. So in those days, that probably was quite a lot. Now, $1 a pound is a very high rate. Say, you'll be the richest young duck in this state. Well, that's nice. I like that because it's like a development from the richest young duck in the city to the richest young duck in the state, which implies he's getting richer. Unless all the richest ducks, young ducks, are in the city anyway, which is... No, but probably when a young duck comes into wealth, it moves into the suburbs or possibly outside the city limits. Not sure. You know, I think it's a nice way of emphasising that the wealth is increasing. Why, sure, smiled the duck, I most certainly will, but duck... Yeah, that's the first time he's just called him Duck with a capital D. Maybe they know each other. Because they didn't really introduce himself. But Duck, said the cat, you can be richer still. Why wish for a little? Why not for a lot? The bigger the wish, the more money you've got. Well, the more money you can potentially get. If you can find people to buy this stuff. That's right, clucked the duck. He's called McCluck and he just clucked. That's nice. And he chuckled with glee. Well, that's nice. You've got clucked the duck and he chuckled. So you've got 3 things with up in them in one sentence. Chuckled with glee. I'll wish for some oysters to grow on my tree. Not sure why he comes up with oysters. I'll wish for my tree to grow donuts and crullers. I don't know what they are. I'm sorry. Could be some sort of baked good. Not sure. It's probably to rhyme with... No, it isn't. I'll wish for my tree to grow skates and umbrellas. Well, I don't know if cruller is meant to rhyme with umbrella. And I don't know if skate means the fish or like roller skates. I'm not sure if the seed has to just know what you're on about. Maybe the seed has a less limited vocabulary than I do. Fine, cheered the cat. Oh no, it's not fine, it's fine, he said positively. That's quite old-fashioned. Normally, certainly where I grew up, when people would say fine, they wouldn't be as enthusiastic as this cat. Now you're doing just grand. Say you'll be the richest young duck in this land. Well, that's nice. We've got city to state to land. perfect. You wait, bragged the duck. Oh, he's getting big-headed now. I'll do better than that. You listen to this, he called out to the cat. I wish for 10 bicycles made out of pearls and 800 muffs that will sell to small girls. I wish for some eyeglasses, 900 pair. That's quite nice. Singular plural, if you like. And 1,000 shirts made of kangaroo hair. A ton of stuffed olives with cherries inside. A ton is a lot of pounds. It doesn't say metric tons, so I presume we're still using the imperial system. It's about TON, not sure that makes a difference. A ton of stuffed olives with cherries inside, and 10 tons of footballs. Probably means American footballs, because it's an American book. With crocodile hide. We'll sell them for cash in our wonderful store. In the notions department. Not sure what that means, if that's an existing thing or if that's a Seussism. The 49th floor. Also don't know why 49th. That's reference to something maybe going over my head. I guess there could have been a shop on the 49th floor. Then he took a deep breath and he wished for still more. I wish, yelled the duck, and he started to scream. Well, he started to yell, I guess. Oh no, I wish was yelled, and then the next line, I guess, is screamed. 8,000 buckets of purple ice cream, a trunk full of toothpaste, a big kitchen sink, and lots of brass keyholes and gallons of ink. Imperial measurements again. I wish for 2 boatloads of baked Boston beans. I'm not sure what baked Boston beans are. They're like British baked beans. Seem to be a thing. And also 9 carloads of sewing machines. These are quite unusual measurements. I mean, the gallons and stuff are about a carload of sewing machines. And his mouth started steaming. His tongue got so hot, but the more that he wished, the more greedy he got. I wish! Shrieked the duck. So he's gone from a yell to a scream to a shriek. For 1,000,000 silk towels. 1,000,000. And 3,000,000 cages for very big owls. Now that is something that's going to be hard to shift, because you're going to have to find 3,000,000 big owl owners, or big owls themselves, who want to be encaged. So you're just going to be left with storage costs for all these cages. And 45,202 hamburger buns and a bottle of glue. Well, again, you'd need someone with 45,202 hamburgers. I don't know if they're sold in that. And that doesn't even divide by 3. 45,202. So if the buns are sold in packs of 6, which they probably are, there's at least going to be someone with a bun left over at the end. Or a burger left over if they overshoot. And a bottle of glue. 1 bottle of glue is quite restrained after all that. And 4,000,000 satin-lined red rubber boots. Again, you need 2,000,000 people to buy them. And 5,000,000 banjos. I guess if all the banjo players wear the boots, then there'll be plenty of banjos. Plenty of people. And 6,000,000 flutes. Oranges, apples, and all kinds of fruits. He doesn't specify an amount there. Again, I don't know how the seed is supposed to cope with the varying specificity. Guess it just, if you don't specify, it can be creative. And 9,000,000,000 Hopalong Cassidy suits, possibly Hopalong Cassidy suits. I don't know what that is. That might just be one of these Dr. Seuss made up things. But 9 billion of them anyway, so that'd be enough. One for everyone in the world, and then some. When this was written, anyway, so I'm pretty sure this was written before the world population hit 9 billion. But as I don't know what a Hopalong Cassidy suit is, it's possible everyone needs more than one. But yeah, somewhere to store them. That's what I would wish for. Yes, That's What I Wish For by Jiminy G, which I guess is another minced oath that starts with a G or a J. You know, ones that start with G relate to God, ones that start with J Sounds a bit like Jesus. Jiminy G. A bit like Jesus Christ. Anyway, and when they sprout out on my Bippolo tree, it's nice rhyming. Say, are we the richest young duck in this world? Well, no. I mean, it depends. If you measure net worth by the worth of your assets, you could say that, but some of these inventory choices seem somewhat questionable and could end up costing him money. And he got so excited, he whirled and he twirled. It's nice rhyming whirled with twirled. And there's another kind of world. So you've got world, you've got the world, young duck in this world. Oh, that's own world again. Yeah, that's moving up from land. So that really is nice. That does guide you through the story. And then it rhymes the other kind, that kind of world with twirled. And that duck. Is that trying to sound slightly derogatory? That duck got so dizzy and crazy with greed that he waved both his arms, and the Bippolo seed slipped out of his fist and flew high in the sky, and it landed kaplunk in a river. I mean, most people would go for something with splosh, splash, something with sh in it for landing in a river rather than kaplunk. Although maybe, I don't know. Then it sank in the river and drifted away. And that cat and that duck, they've been datted again, you hear that? You know, earlier it was the duck, right? Wasn't it? I think so. Yeah, it was the duck, but here where he's getting all critical of the greed of the duck and the cat, he's gone into that cat and that duck. It's a very subtle way of showing his distaste for these animals. All the rest of that day, well, that possibly poo-poos my theory somewhat, but I'll stick to it. Dive deep in that river. Well, no, I'm really not sure. I mean, you might want to do the that's to sound critical, and then just that's some other things to so it matches. But never did see a trace of the seed of the Bippolo tree, and the chances are good that this greedy pair never. It's used the word greed quite a few times. I mean, it does rhyme with seed, so it's useful. Maybe that's why I called it a Bippolo seed, not a Bippolo bulb. Because it makes people greedy rather than grolby. But as Dr. Seuss, if you get away with making up a word like that. That this greedy pair never will find such a wonderful seed again ever. Are they? Are they rare? Did it say somewhere? Yeah, it says on the box who finds this rare box. So I would say the chances are good that they won't find another one. But if they should find one, that cat and that duck won't wish for so much. And they'll have better luck. Final picture, just show you the cat there is looking pretty cross. Duck's looking a bit upset, but the cat's looking particularly annoyed. The cat as the instigator of the greedy behaviour. So that makes sense. Yeah, it was alright. I mean, it flowed nicely. I didn't trip over many of the lines. I like the increasing of like radius of where it's going to be the richest, richest duck in. Quite like the ending. It took on quite a critical tone. Very clear on these classic morals. You know, don't be so greedy. Which is a good message for children and adults alike, I think. But yeah, I mean, you got to question the judgment of the duck and the cat. But on the other hand, you could say that greed is what has overcome them, and that they're just victims of the greed, which is probably the whole point of whoever made this seed, just to teach people a lesson. Maybe that's just always happens. People always just get overcome by greed, wish for too much, drop the seed in the river, and then it's done for. Probably it's eaten by a fish. Good. that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more Dr. Seuss, I do have access to more Dr. Seuss. I mean, there's a bunch of other ones in this book. There's one here called Gustav the Goldfish. So that will be an option for another time if you want to. Let me know in the comments, and otherwise I will see you next time. Take care.